So, hello. Welcome back to the woods again. We are back walking around down a trail I haven't actually taken you guys since, I think, last winter. It's funny because it actually parallels the road pretty closely, but it's nicer than walking on the road. It's also beautiful. Here, I'll flip around so you guys. I don't know. It's a peaceful place. I thought about getting in my morning walk, just wandering around, doing laps of the basement, but then I thought, you know what? It's kind of a perfect day for walking. The sun is up. Not that you can really see it through all the trees, but not a cloud in the sky. And getting outside is the best cure for any sort of mental fog, at least for me. Plus, it's just edging into autumn, and I do love autumn. Do you guys say autumn or do you say fall? When I was a kid, I said fall all the time, but I don't know. For me, I kind of changed my mind the older I got and decided autumn is just the prettier word. One of my neighbors actually has told me to keep my eyes open for, I think it's puffball mushrooms. Evidently they're edible. I never knew that. I always personally just thought puffballs as a thing that you step on when you're out in the woods to see if they go poof. But evidently if you pick them when they're still white, they're edible. Not something I would ever do because mushrooms are disgusting to me, but that just leaves more for people that actually like eating them. So I'm definitely going to try doing book reviews. Do bear with me. I never did them before because I have this tendency to kind of ramble and to go off on side tangents. I don't know. Maybe I should try writing myself a script for them. But writing is not my strong suit. But I do still want to share those wonderful books with you guys, because they're good books. Also, I can't tell if that is a swamp through there or if there's like a teeny tiny pond. You guys probably can't see it. There's a clearing. I might have to wait till winter and walk out there once a little more of the undergrowth is gone. Anyway, this is actually yet another kind of shortcut over to the campgrounds that's near me. It's funny. Every year I'm like, maybe I should go camping again. I loved camping as a kid. But then I remember that I also love my shower and not sleeping on the ground. And yeah, I know I have that camper, but I'm a big baby when it comes to pulling things behind me in the car. I do fine going forward. I would need to practice a whole lot to be able to back. I don't know how I did it. When my kids were little, I actually had a little pop-up camper, and I pulled that thing into the Rockies. I went and visited a friend of mine who lived in Colorado and camped the whole way. It was me, two toddlers, and a big old German Shepherd out just kind of camping our way from Texas to Colorado, and we stayed at We stayed at a couple of, I think, KOA campgrounds. And then we stayed at one of the national parks there. What I really remember about the park, trust me to remember a park because of its rocks, but there was rose quartz everywhere. It was beautiful. And it was very hard for me to not take it home. But they did also have signs up everywhere that said, don't pick up the rocks. Don't take them home with you. And so, with much regret, I actually listened to it. And here we are at the campground. This is the time of year when less and less people will be over here camping, which makes it the time of year that I actually like coming over the best. I think my favorite time to visit this campground is when there's literally nobody here. This is a good campsite, though. It's actually, I think, yeah, they have 3 hookups. This campground is kind of neat because it's a mix of electrical sites and kind of like roughing it sites. This is a good camping spot to go, you know, if you say had like a family reunion or a family camping trip and you had 3 campers or 3 different families, you could rent this site. They've got the biggest of the fire pits, which is very cool. And then a bunch of different picnic tables, spots to hook up 3 different like rigs and just kind of have a good time out here in the peace and quiet. Now, unlike a lot of, I guess you would call them commercial campsites, there's no shower and the bathrooms here are porta potties, but it's still pretty nice. And they have the best beach. I remember when I was a kid, we would walk over here to go swimming, mostly because the area around the dock, my grandparents tried to keep it kind of clean of, my mom always called it moon crappies. It's just the silt and sediment that settles on the lake floor. But it always drifts back in, and it wasn't as much fun to go swimming there. Now, it was a lot of fun to go fishing there, though. This lake, I remember when I was a kid, wasn't as much fun to fish at. I think they've changed that now because they put a fishing pier in, and I think they're stocking this lake now. So that is the spot where you get water if you're staying here. Very cool. The water here is actually good. It's better than the water in my cabin, which makes me a little bit jealous. Speaking of water, I am going today to town to get water and critter food. Maybe some people food too. We'll see. There is one of the many outhouses. I'm always impressed. They keep them as good as they can. For an outhouse, they usually don't smell terrible. Anyway, we are approaching people, so I'm going to pause you guys till we get past everybody's campsites, and then we'll go look at the lake a little. Alright, past the people at least for now. I try my best not to get people into my videos. I mean, who knows if they actually want to be on YouTube. It's just safer to assume that they don't. Plus, not gonna lie, it looks a little weird to be walking around, holding your phone in front of you and talking to yourself. I don't know how people who do vlogging all the time get over that. I always feel a little bit self-conscious and awkward. Doesn't stop me from doing it. It just stops me from doing it in more truly like public places. Not that I go to very public places often. Speaking of going places, I think I have convinced my oldest son that we should take a little mini day hiking trip out to Pictured Rocks. Because that's actually something I've never hiked. And it would be nice to see the National Lakeshore from the other side. I've seen it plenty of times on the Pictured Rock cruise, and that's fun and all. But it doesn't get you out and doing things. And I'm trying to be more active. I've actually toyed with the idea of putting my, let's put some heavy quotations around this, my weight loss journey on YouTube. But I don't think I will. I'm kind of having success right now, which is fantastic. But I don't think I was going to say ego. I don't think it's necessarily ego. I think I'm too thin-skinned for tons and tons of the negativity that comes whenever you broadcast what you're trying to do to lose weight online. Everybody has their own way, and I would end up getting in my head about it and trying to take everybody's advice, and that would lead me to probably giving up. I've had success before. I think it was a combination of menopause and just kind of getting lazy that let me pile on all of the weight that I took off actually right before I started YouTube in the first place. And now it's time to take it all back off again. Never fun. Mostly, it's true what they say. Weight loss starts in the kitchen. And in an ironic way, getting the dentures has helped with that. Because there's a lot of things that I can't eat right now. Maybe in a year or two I'll be able to. Or, shoot, maybe only in a couple of months. But right now there are still things that I want to eat that just aren't working. Ironically, I can't eat salad. The lettuce just slides around and doesn't actually chew, which is frustrating. Everybody's like, oh, you're losing weight, just eat lots of salad. And I'm like, that's a great thought. Not really going to happen right at the moment. I think with enough determination, maybe I'll be able to figure that out. But right now, salad is hard. Weirdly enough, from what I've read on different forums, stupid stuff like chips and candy bars, people are like, oh yeah, I was able to eat candy bars and chips, and I'm like, that's not conducive to a healthy lifestyle, people. I would much prefer to eat a big plate of, I don't know, carrots, which I can eat as long as I cook them and cook them well. But again, I think in time that will hopefully get better. Also, isn't this a pretty little lake? I know I take you guys here a lot, but it's a pretty little lake. And down that way, we'll walk down and just kind of sit by the tree that I like so much to sit on. Although I don't sit on it when there are people camping here. Don't want to give any kids ideas. I would hate to have somebody fall off of it. And I don't think it's going to last much longer. Last year, despite the fact that it was fallen over like that, it did still have green on it. This year it looks like it finally gave up, which is sad, but I guess just happens. It's a good tree though. I like it. But yeah, this is a little lake, but it's always been the best lake for swimming because it's a sandy bottomed lake. Unlike the lake I live on, that there is sand in my lake, but not as much as over here. It's a pretty place. I like it. All right, well, I'm going to sit here and enjoy this whole being out in nature thing because it feels good. Then I'm going to go home and head to town, get a few things done, and then come back and attempt a chapter review. We'll see how it goes. Be patient with me. I am definitely figuring this out. Thank you to everybody who sent such kind messages on that video I posted. I really do appreciate it. It made me feel good. This isn't what anybody wanted to have happen. Ooh, I see swans flying. I don't know if you can see them. Way out there. They are definitely swans though. White flappy things. Anyway, thank you so much for putting up with me. Thank you for being here, and wish me luck on this whole trying to figure out how to put words together in sentences that make sense to do a book review. I'll see you guys later.